To the Cricket Podcast.
I think it was a disgraceful performance, and I think it should never be permitted to happen again.
That is very good.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Podcast's first ever attempt at a watch-along. I am Jack Hope, and I am joined for the final 10 overs of India v Pakistan in the group stage of the T20 World Cup by Ross Legg. How are you doing, Ross?
I'm great. This game's on a knife edge, right? Pakistan are in a great position, but you can never write off India in this scenario.
No, absolutely. We should probably be up front by saying we've not actually been able to sync our two streams of this game. So Ross will be providing live reaction, and I will be providing punditry approximately 2 balls after the event. How are you getting on, by the way?
Yeah, good actually. Good. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, the Sri Lanka Bangladesh game earlier was pretty interesting as well. Like everyone at Shah, everyone's just like Shah just gonna be low scoring, not gonna know how to play it. Both teams smashed 170 each.
Yeah. No, I will be honest. I was just going to completely ignore that match, and even at 10 overs in, Bangladesh on about 70, and score predictor was like, oh, they're going to get 160 here, and I was like, there's no fucking chance that Bangladesh are getting 90 runs off the last 10 overs, and they got 100 runs off the last 10 overs. So it shows once again what I know about cricket. Been up to anything else today though?
Just out and about. It's a nice Sunday, isn't it? Really, it's a nice Sunday. And what better way to finish it off than that? I mean, Spurs lost, which people will find hilarious because obviously I'm a Spurs fan. But it could be worse. I could be a Man United fan.
Yeah, I just saw the score for that. 4-0 down at half time. He's going to get fired, isn't
he? You'd expect so, wouldn't you? You'd expect so. Poor old. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah. So where are we at? So this is what the extended drinks break right now that I'm watching. You'll have to tell me when the cricket comes back, otherwise I'll just talk over what's going on. And also, anyone watching on the TV is probably watching this like 2 balls earlier than us. So it's what effectively is happening here is a live stream of our delayed reaction and my extremely delayed reaction to what's probably the biggest cricket match in the world at the moment. Looks like the streak is dead. Yeah. By the way, if you're in the chat, I think the idea with this is that it's going to be quite interactive. There's not that many people in at the moment because we didn't want to advertise it too much and then it be a complete disaster. And I said that, and it's like trebled in numbers. But Mayank Kumar saying looks like the streak's dead. Ross, where do you see the game right now, percentage wise?
I reckon this is 70-30 in Pakistan's favor.
Really, that much?
Yeah,
I think
yeah. They got the big boys at the crease, right? Rizwan and Babar. We said kind of you can't ever underestimate these two batsmen. You can't underestimate Shahid Afridi. He turned up. Was classic Pakistan when he did the bloody overthrows.
Oh mate, yeah. That was so funny. It was. He bowled so well, and then literally just gave India 3-4 runs.
These two at the crease are just they're doing it, and I like that Pakistan have gone with CSK's approach. Have been just like, let's pick the old guys. They've got experience. Just bring in Shoaib Malik and Hafiz. I'm surprised they didn't be just like, come on, Imran Khan, go on, put the old boots back on.
It's only there are probably players in this team that actually literally did play with Imran Khan, or only missed out on by 2 or 3 years from playing with Imran. Akash in the chat says 80-20 Pakistan. That's pretty negative. If you're India, you only need 1 wicket here, and the emotion of the occasion, the pressure of the occasion, could get to India. I'm seeing Virat Kohli giving a speech here. What do you reckon he's saying?
He's been just like, come on, lads. I'm only captain for this World Cup. I can't go out by ruining the record that stood for the last 3 Indian captains, or Mahendra Singh Dhoni, etc. So there's a lot riding on this for Virat.
Yeah, it was 12 World Cup matches in a row without losing to Pakistan.
You got the win prediction up on the screen there puts Pakistan at 63% to win. So Ross Viz a little bit more extreme, Akash Viz even a little bit more extreme. So yeah, everything at the moment. I just think this has been a pretty controlled way. Like Rizwan and Babar both have taken like full control of this innings. They've not let the nerves kind of get to them, and I've been really impressed with some of the shots they've actually done.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I said this to Dan, who will be on our second show. So we're doing 2 live streams today. If you're just tuning in, we're going to do this watch along where we test out to see whether we can do it, what works and what doesn't, and then we'll be doing our usual post-match show after the match. That's a good shot. I guess you just saw that, didn't you?
Yeah. Over the covers.
Over extra cover. So yeah, we'll be doing our normal live stream, and Dan will be with us for that. But I was saying to him a bit earlier in the day, if you're an Indian right now, then or if you're an Indian at half time, then you must be terrified of Babar Azam, because Babar Azam's not an elite T20 player, but if you're chasing 150, he's got all the shots to just score fluently and get half the runs by himself without too much difficulty, without too much risk, and it looks like he's having a bit of fun out there.
Well, I think it's like you can flip the argument, right, and flip it if Pakistan had just posted 150 and they had Virat Kohli coming in. It's kind of the similar kind of thing. Like Virat Kohli is built to chase kind of 140 to 160 kind of score, 150 kind of scores, and I think Babar Azam is in that similar mould. But at the moment, they can't break through the defences. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah just whistled one pass off stump there. But lots of people on Twitter were talking around how the Pakistan.
Oh no! Now Ross is gone, and it's just me, miles behind the game, talking to myself on the internet. Fantastic. Anyway, yeah, I am. Or if you are just joining, you're back. Welcome back, Ross. Yeah, sorry, you froze for like 25 seconds there, and so I was literally just talking to myself.
That's right.
We tried to get Dan on for this, but he's watching the game with his wife, so couldn't make it.
Well, what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by my terrible internet was that Babar Azam's similar to kind of Virat Kohli in that space, right? Virat's built to chase 140, 150 kind of scores in T20 cricket, and that's what's been so successful for him. But in this regard, like Babar is in that similar mould. And I think some of the chat that we said before on the show yesterday and some of the stuff on Twitter is that these guys haven't faced Jasprit Bumrah before, and yet at the moment he's just bowled his second over and he's 0 for 13. Babar Azam and Rizwan both seem to be treating him like Rashid Khan, like everyone treats Rashid Khan when they play against Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's just like, let's see off these 4 overs. Let's not try and hit let's not take too many risks, and we'll try and plunder some of the other ones like Bhuvi in this situation.
Yeah, picking your bowlers. That's definitely the tactic. How is Bhuvi still bowling at 120? Says Avinash. What does that mean? Have I missed something here? Has he been bowling too slowly?
Yeah, 120 clicks. I don't know. Yeah.
It'd be too fast for me. What speed do you reckon you could play in international cricket? We don't get time on the podcast to divulge into these questions, but we used to. Like when we took the podcast a lot less seriously and we used to just get drunk all the time. We used to have debates on the podcast about what we would be like in international cricket. T20 World Cup, Ross. Say you've opened up for Pakistan. Say you get to open up for Pakistan for the next 100 games for Pakistan. I'm not saying it won't happen. It is Pakistan, so on the list of things that are conceivable, it certainly features. What do you reckon you personally would average? And what's your strike rate?
I mean, I reckon my strike rate is actually pretty good. I reckon I've got a pretty high strike rate. I'm not going to have a very high average because I like to think I can hold a bat, but I think there is a piece where if Jasprit Bumrah's coming up against me, or I'm coming up against Jasprit Bumrah, he is getting me out 5 times in an over. I reckon
5 times.
I reckon I'm out. I reckon I'm 5 out of the 6 balls. If he bowls on the stumps, there is a bit where you just don't stand. Even if you're trying to block it, there's a bit where you're not too sure. I do think there is a piece like when you bat against bowling machines, there is a bit where you start to get used to the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm going to get used to facing 90 mile an hour because I do not have the technique.
But this is an actual observed thing. So sort of half watching this. Someone smashed the ball into the leg side. That's an actually observed thing in with junior cricketers and professional cricketers. You can ramp up the bowling machine against a 16-year-old and they'll be able to see and hit 95 miles an hour. But with an actual bowler, apparently it's really, really difficult because the release points and that are different. And there's a lot of sort of newish science that actually suggests that before the ball is released, the best batters already kind of know where it's going to go just from being able to pick up visual cues from bowling actions and like load ups and stuff like that, and which is quite interesting. That they're basically preempting what comes out of the bowler's hand.
Well, Ashutosh Pandey in the chat's kind of said you can try the simulation bowling machine. And I mean, I've been to six a bit. I'm not sure that because the England team used it, right? It's that they used it to get better against spin bowling. That went bloody well, didn't it?
What is this for the India series that just wrapped up?
Yeah, there was I can't remember what it was called. It was something absolutely ridiculous, but it was kind of like the magic simulator. It was not
The
called
magic
that.
simulator.
It tries to emulate the bowler's action, so they can you can get used to facing against I don't know, Hasaranga, for example. But they used to do it like when Mushtaq Ahmed was the coach about 10 years ago, and they were trying to get that. So again, there must be something in it, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't invest in this kind of stuff and use it. But yeah, I do think you're right. Even if I was playing Harris Ralph, who I thought bowled really well today, like that is a pretty scary kind of proposition with this guy coming in, putting rockets at you 90 miles an hour. Like you're not going to stand a chance.
Yeah. I think I'd be too scared of the ball, to be honest. I don't even bat in a helmet. I'd be cannon fodder.
You would be cannon fodder.
Yeah.
I reckon I'd go what? I reckon I'm striking 160s.
160? You're signing on the ride?
I reckon I'm striking 160, but averaging about 6.
Okay, so you're like pound shop sun on the ride.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am. I think there's a bit around. I've got enough about it. And I can hit a big ball. I'm a good boundary hitter. I reckon I hit more boundaries than most people in shit cricket. So why would that not translate to the professional game?
Well, they do say this, don't they? This is one of the things that Dan says is that actually strike rate is something that you can retain the higher up the levels you go.
Rizwan, that's big 6. Big
okay,
old
well,
6.
yeah. So this is the problem. I'm a little bit behind here. I
right.
expect our concurrent viewers to dive now. It's not high at the moment.
Chakravarti's dropped one short, and Rizwan's gone onto one knee and just pelted it, slog sweep into the leg side, 6 runs over Jadeja's head. That's a big blow.
Yeah, I think I'm about to get this now. Here he comes. Oh yeah, short and wide. Wow, yeah, that's big boy cricket. Big crowd in, isn't there? Actually,
yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's completely different to what we saw with the little picket fences in yesterday's game for the South Africa.
That was weird. Did anyone ever get to the bottom of why that was happening?
I don't know, because it was in Abu Dhabi. Was it? Yeah, it was in.
Is it a COVID thing? Because they're sort of being played in different countries, aren't they? So maybe one of them.
I think. I thought it was quite funny though, because you know all these little picket fences, and then there was just a shot. He's done it again. Oh, this time it's Babar. Babar is now straight to the crowd. This is not looking good for India. Oh my God, 53 from 44. Chakravarti's taken an absolute hiding.
Yeah, I really. I thought. Like I said, I wanted him to play instead of Ashwin, but this sort of over. It's not what you need, is it? If you are India.
No, but we talked about it before. Around experience kind of comes into this, right? And I think sometimes like Varun Chakravarti is only going to get the experience by playing in games like this, and he is a good enough player. Ashwin could well have gone for exactly the same, if not more. Could have gone less. You don't know. But I think in this game, I was surprised to see Varun Chakravarti actually in the lineup.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised too. I do think it was the right call. A few people have been talking about the dew point Akash saying, "What is this heavy dew? Every ball they're using the cloth." I feel like for a bowler like Chakravarti, and I'm not a mystery spinner, I would never try to do any of this. I've never like Karen balling or anything like that. Not even the nets. I think it would be so hard. But it must make a difference in terms of what your control is like. And if you're dropping it in short with no spin and it's not deviating weirdly or anything like that, then you're basically bowling like a 14-year-old, aren't you?
Yeah, well, this pitch hasn't really turned that much actually. It's been a pretty true pitch. Looks like a good pitch to bat on.
Yeah,
the 100 is now up.
Yeah.
Lightly bowl.
Sorry, hold on. I'm just going to mute myself, so you're going to have to talk for a second because where I've put my my second screen is interfering with the internet that's coming through. It wouldn't be a cricket podcast these days without everyone's internet going down and and it being total carnage.
Oh well, just having a look at some of the comments in our chat. Swaraj coming in with, "You need a lefty at the top when there's such large disparity between both sides' boundaries," and I think look at Pakistan here. I mean, they're both openers are still in 100 for none. They've kind of put on a bit of a clinic here, and I think this is a great opening victory for Pakistan. And I mean, it'd be annoying for them if they lost from here. And Nikhil coming in with a bit of Kohli dig, saying, "Well, Kohli is about to achieve another feat that no Indian captain's achieved so far." That's a low blow, Nikhil. That is a low blow.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Ross. How come India win 12 in a row, and just when we start to get a bit of a following in India with our podcast, they manage to do this? What have we done? Who have we offended? Which god is not on our side? The biggest banker in cricket World Cups, India to beat Pakistan, just when we're on the road to 10k.
Maybe we'll pick up some Pakistan fans. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, branch out.
You never know. But I think this has just been. It's not. I don't think it's a surprise. Like, as much as people kind of say, "Oh, Pakistan are absolutely," they have a huge point to prove here, and then there's always. Oh, it's another great shot from Babar. This guy is absolute gravy. But there is so much riding on it, and they're so pissed off at the moment, and rightly so, because of England pulling out of the tour and New Zealand pulling out of the tour. They kind of feel like they got shafted by everyone, and they're kind of in that position now where they're just like, "Oh, do you know what? What better way to kind of prove kind of our worth and our skill levels than beating India, who are the favourites for this tournament?"
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a huge win. Oh, that is a good shot. I'm that far behind you. It's a great shot. I think it's huge. I mean, we said on our 3 previews of this game that because there's 2 weaker teams in this group, that this match is like massively important. Probably slightly more so for Pakistan than India, because I still think India, they're probably going to lose this match, but they have the talent to overcome Afghanistan, definitely, and to overcome New Zealand, I think 70% of the time. So I think they'll win those 2 matches. Then Scotland and Namibia, they should be okay with. So they should, India should still go through here. Pakistan, I think it's a lot dicier with that Afghanistan game and that New Zealand game. So it's pretty crucial for them to win. We did say though that if they got on like a little bit of an emotional train ride, they could be a difficult proposition for other teams to stop. How, if you're looking ahead to the next game, how are you going to get them under control if you're the Afghanistan captain or whatever?
Well, I think there is a piece around like today.
Whoever that is.
I think it's Mohammed Nabi, isn't it? But I think there is just a piece here where there's no need to panic. Like, Pakistan sometimes are their own worst enemy, and I think that there is a piece around putting them under a bit of pressure. Like for the first 15 overs of India's innings, they felt like they were in control, and none of the batsmen. I think Sky hit a 6, Kohli hit a 6, and kind of Pant was starting to kind of get into the zone, hit 2 one-handed 6s. And actually, all of a sudden, the feeling instantly was just like, oh no, India are going to wrestle back control of this game. And that pressure kind of causes all kinds of different things, especially in this Pakistan lineup. And then when it came to closing out the game, like they should have had India out for. Well, they should have restricted India to what 130. It was well within their control to actually do that. Hassan Ali lost his head and went all over the park. Wasn't bowling to a field. It would have been, if you were Babar as captain, I'd have been seething at Hassan Ali. And then Shaheen Afridi's just like, no, I'm brilliant. I'm going to do this. And then launches one for 4 overthrows. Just like, where does it come to? So I think that pressure you just need to be able to put back on them. But with that comes risk, right? You have to try and hit these boundaries, and that is a little bit riskier because these guys are pretty good.
Yeah, there were. It looks like it there. That wasn't a great over from Jadeja, was it? Finishes up with no wickets, 28 runs conceded. A couple of those deliveries, I do think that people talking about the Jew might have a bit of a point because he's sent. You know, Jadeja, what does he do? He bowls pretty quick, pretty much always in the same area, gets a few revs on the ball. He bowled 6 random deliveries, basically. Virat. Is it me, or does this India kit look a bit purple?
I thought I quite liked it actually. I quite like it. I think it looks better live than it did on the pictures.
Hasn't it got? Has it got? Is this the one on the front where it's got the shock waves for the sound of the India fans or something like that?
It sounds about right, doesn't it? Sounds about right.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm liking the stuff in the chat talking about how I was right that India do start slow and then they'll come back. But that's fine. I mean, I'm typically always right about these kind of things. KL Rahul we'll talk about on the show later. But I think there is a big piece here where, like, if this is a 10-wicket win, that's unbelievable from Pakistan's point of view. That is a big wave they're going to ride.
How many of their 12 World Cup defeats do you reckon a 10-wicket win balances out to? It's got to be like 3, right?
Yeah, this is a big 3-0 win for them.
On net run rate, this is a big win in the India v Pakistan. Well, we don't know yet. I mean, there's still best part of 6 overs to go. A 10-wicket win would be ridiculous.
Yeah, well, the thing about Pakistan, I mean, Rishi's come in the chat and said the problem with India losing is it basically confirms the second spot in Group B, and then that will be India versus England in the semi-final. But kind of there is a bit right where Pakistan could easily lose to Afghanistan. Like there literally that toss of the coin that sometimes seems to happen with the Pakistan performances. Like, don't be surprised if their next game they are overconfident, get complacent, and then lose, and then have to pull it out of the bag. Like, I just won't be shocked about that.
Yeah. That pull shot there in front of square. Is this pitch just a bit slow? So I missed a little bit of the first innings. So I was playing footy. So I didn't actually see. I've only seen the highlights of Shaheen's opening spell, but that, you know, not many people pull Bumrah way in front of square, basically off the front foot like that, do they?
I think quite a few of the bowlers, so even like Harris Ralph was doing it, were bowling cutters into the pitch, so they weren't getting too much pace out of it, so they were trying to slow it up, and it was a little bit too paced when you saw it. And even Shaheen Afridi getting out Virat Kohli, he bowled a cutter, a kind of slower ball bouncer cutter, and that got him out. So I think there is a little bit to what you're saying there. I think it is just one of those things where just back of a length, trying to draw people into that shot is kind of the right way to go on here. I mean, these batsmen are too good if you pitch it up.
Yeah, for sure. Can India win? That's the question, isn't it?
Not from here. No chance.
You think we're in the death throes of this match?
This is you know, on the cricket pitch when it kind of goes, oh, it's 60%, 60%, 60%, 99%. That's kind of, I think that's where we've kind of got to now. I think even Pakistan from this point of view can't hold this up. Like when they've got 10 wickets in hand and
even
5
Pakistan.
overs to go.
Yeah. The Google win predictor says 97% Pakistan, which I think that might even be generous to India. If they lost here, it would be the most humiliating defeat, I reckon, in the whole history of cricket.
Yeah, that it might as well be 20-0 then on the
record. Absolutely. We've had a few people talking about India's selection. Ross, what did you make of the? So we talked a little bit about Chakravarti v Ashwin.
What about like Hardick and not sending Hardick in at 6?
Well, I'm kind of just a little bit concerned that India are kind of. I mean, someone's put it in there saying legacy picks, Raja, and there is a bit here where they are riding out on what Hardik Pandya did last year in the IPL. I think a little bit. The guy's injured. Like, you can clearly tell that he is injured. He's not bowling for India, and although he is a very, very good batsman and a good finisher in this team, I'm not sure that they can continue to carry him. He's not even on the field now. Shaheen Afridi bumped him and cracked into his dodgy shoulder. So Ishan Kishan's on the pitch. So there is a little bit at the moment of going, could they actually bring in someone like Ishan Kishan to actually open up the batting, or even I prefer Ishan up the order and then just move some things around. But at the moment, I just don't think they've got their team quite right.
Okay. Well, if you're the selector, so who are you getting rid of here? You're getting rid of Hardick.
If he's not fully fit, I just think there's a bit. He's not even. It doesn't even look like 80% fit at this point in time. And I think that you can't in a World Cup, you just can't afford to carry those players. You have to make the tough decision and be like, do you know what, you are an unbelievably good player, and you'll walk straight back into the team when you are fit. But at the moment, we need someone who we can bank on, and at the moment they just can't bank on Hardik Pandya.
No, it is a bit of a weird one. I mean, Jadeja, I think. Another boundary. Jadeja, I think, is a better batter than his score today. I can see whenever something happens, because we're both a few balls behind live, but I have the concurrent viewers listed in front of me. So whenever something goes wrong for India, it drops down like 20%. It's quite funny. And if something good happens, I guess it goes up. The problem is, Ross, we haven't been discovered yet by Pakistan fans. That is a really nice shot. I'm just watching that now. And maybe today's the day. Maybe we're just going to pivot away. We're just going to become a PSL pod. Yeah. What do you know about the PSL? Can you name all 6 teams? Between us, do you reckon we can? Islamabad United.
Yeah, is it Quetta Gladiators?
Yeah. The Lahore Calendars.
They can't be called Lahore Calendars.
You would say it Quaylanders, but I think it's Calendars is how you say it.
Okay, fine.
Molten Sultans.
Yeah, they are good. There's a team called Karachi, isn't there?
Karachi Kings.
Karachi Kings.
Okay, we've got one. We're one to go. Rawalpindi. Is there a Rawalpindi one?
We've got Karachi, Molten Sultans, Islamabad, Quetta Gladiators, Lahore. So I don't know what the last one is. I must admit, that's bad for someone who's on a cricket podcast not to know that. Goodness me. But I tell you, this has been an absolute masterclass.
Bring it back, save it.
Yeah. This whole game has been the whole reason why Pakistan should be playing against India more. The whole occasion's amazing, and I mean, I think imagine if you're playing in the IPL. The IPL gets extended, which is next season, and someone like Shaheen Afridi, Rizwan, Babar are in that player pool. And I know politically there's all kinds of different stuff going on, and you and I sitting in the UK is never going to fully understand every single bit of that. But I tell you what, how good would the cricket be?
Yeah, 100%. And that's if people focus more on the cricket and less on geopolitics, then it would be a nicer world, wouldn't it? India would be playing Pakistan all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous that Shaheen Afridi is probably going to play against India 3 more times in his career or something like that after today. It's just such a shame. Kayla Nadar. Can you? Ashutosh has tried to help us out with the phonetic spelling. Peshawar Zalmi is the 6th side, Ross.
Yeah,
we'd have been here all day trying to get that.
You could give me the next year to figure that one out. I wouldn't have got there. Isn't he? Shami has always looked like he's about 47.
Yeah. He's
not changed.
I think he's like our age. No. Since he rocked up, he has looked about at least late 30s. 31. He's only a year and a bit older than us.
Yeah, well, he's just.
If he came out on a night out with us, people would ask us who's the old man.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get in
Like,
some places.
Oh no. It kind of looks like Dorian Gray. He's got the Dorian Gray effect. You know, I just don't do it that way. What else have we got in the chat then? We've got
Got lots of sad India fans, unfortunately. We're sad too, by the way. We thought this would be an absolute romper of a show. We thought we'd be millionaires, basically, because of today's podcast.
it's never going to happen, mate. Never going to happen.
It's unlikely, isn't it?
It is interesting
Coley.
around. It is interesting around this, around how like the toss impacts on it. So a lot of people will come down to, if you win the toss, you're going to win the game in this World Cup. But actually, if you just look at the application of the batting tonight, it's a stark contrast. And they just, unfortunately, Shaheen Afridi's outbowled Jasprit Bumrah, right? He did the role, and it just was. When you take out KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma and send a nice shockwave through that Indian lineup, it's a big thing, right? Unfortunately, someone like Pant was close to doing it, but didn't kick on and get it done.
Right, 6-0 for 4 overs. Ross, on the scale of 1 to Punjab, what are the chances of Pakistan losing this?
I'm going to have to go with the Google predictor. They're winning. This is 95%. 95, 97. Yeah.
Yeah. Something bad's obviously happened because we just lost a lot of viewers. I mean, it could have been, to be fair, our conversation about the Pakistani Indian border situation.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we'll be asked to go on Newsnight or something. Just to go.
Yeah. They're probably looking out for 2 people who've had a couple of ciders. Alex Lewis. I never know this. Is this Alex Lewis is this an Alex Lewis that we know? Because I know an Alex Lewis, or is this just some other guy? Alex Lewis in the chat. Let us know.
I think it's a pretty common name, that one, isn't it? But,
I mean, it could be. We don't. Yeah. Not good for England if India are second in their group. No, it's fine, because you don't want India in the final. Too much pressure. You want to knock India out in the semis.
Yeah, just like New Zealand did in the other World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah. If it's India and New Zealand at Lords, India win that 9 times out of 10. Old Trafford, India are already thinking about the final. Yeah, easy win, I say.
Is Sharjah going to have one of the semi-finals?
I don't think so. No. It looked better today, though, didn't it? It didn't look like such a cowpat of a wicket.
I do find it interesting though. Of going, there definitely is a bit to subcontinental teams being able to bat better in those conditions, but there is a piece around some of the Western teams. Oh
no, it's happened again. And so Alex Lewis, it turns out, is just some other common Alex Lewis, which is good to know. And human being here is cut in with "I am here, Jack," as though he might be Alex Lewis.
I am Alex Lewis.
Yeah. Is anyone else here Alex Lewis? Who's the real Alex Lewis? That's what I want to know.
A real Spartacus moment for the podcast there.
Ross, let's play a quick game of under or over.
Are you joking me? What? There's a bowl about to come up, and the producers have instantly gone to a highlight so they don't show the wide ball that's just been bowled.
Okay, well I will watch it. I'm primed. The bowler
You're like third umpire in this case. Yeah. This is what I'm referring these to. This is why.
Yeah. Okay, it's Boovy coming in to bowl, but before that we've got someone drinking a glass of water in the Pakistan bench. Here he comes. Yeah, that's a wide.
It's not given.
He shuffles a little bit. He shuffles a little bit, but it's wide. Alex Lewis.
Next ball's been given a wide.
Makeup call. Alex Lewis says I'm definitely the real Alex Lewis. And then Akash has chimed in here saying it's me.
That's what we want. That is what we want. This is a huge victory. Like, I generally like. Even we thought it would at least be a little bit closer than this, but this has been a statement win.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it?
Vernon Philander and bloody Matthew Hayden straight in with a big.
Well, this is it, isn't it? We haven't talked about this. We'll have to get into this deep on the actual podcast in 25 minutes or so. When you bring an Australian in to your dressing room, then suddenly you start playing like 2002 Australia, and just as Ramiz Raja predicted, it has come to pass. A great call, I think you would say.
I mean,
And Vernon Philander as well, with his great record against Australia,
yeah,
has obviously inspired Shaheen Shah Afridi to be even better at cricket than he was.
But I think what's great about this is that oh my goodness, Liverpool are 5-0 up against Manchester United and Paul Pogba's been sent off. Brilliant.
Do you reckon if we just renamed this live stream, maybe on the podcast later we should talk about Man U v Liverpool? More people would probably tune in, wouldn't they? This was the under-over game I'm going to play. So recently on our live streams, I think our recent records, I don't know, 300, 330, I think. Do you think we will be over or under 330 on the live stream later?
We're lucky to be over 30 based upon some of the previous. I remember when England would have a good day and it would just be like, nope, down here. India win, right over here.
Yeah. In that ODI series or the T20 series earlier in the year, there were 35,000 people on for the fifth T20. The match before where England won. The match before where England won, I think it was 300. Yeah.
17 from 19, and Boovy's bowled another wide. How is that not a wide ball? Is this guy having a laugh? What is he?
Is this Illingworth? Is this Illingworth, the English umpire?
I don't know. Is this bloody bloke? Whoever this bloke is.
Don't do that. We're going to get taken off YouTube if you do that.
Oh, am I? All right, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason people aren't sitting at home. I can't believe I actually have to explain this to you. There's a reason people aren't on YouTube showing their TV on a live stream.
Yeah, all right. I did it.
That's it. That's probably the end of the podcast.
We're done, are we?
Yeah, 2.5 years of effort gone because you wanted to show possibly Richard Illingworth.
The most inane thing. That guy's not giving a wide. Or every single podcast ripped down from the internet. They're now having a little captain's meeting. You've got Rishabh, Rohit, Virat, Bumrah, and KL Rahul all putting their 2 pence together.
Yeah.
It's going to take something magical here. Bumrah's going to have to take 6 wickets and 6 balls here.
I do sympathise with India fans who don't want to come and watch our podcast after they lose, though. But I'm not actually. If I were Indian, I probably wouldn't be like, oh, I wonder what the cricket podcast have to say about that performance. After the Euros final lost. I don't know. Did you watch much football content for a while after that?
No.
I wasn't eager to.
I was trying to explain this yesterday around how England playing in cricket against the West Indies. For me, is just as big as England playing in football. I absolutely love both occasions when it was at a major sporting event. And yesterday couldn't have gone better as an England fan. And I was trying to explain this to my girlfriend, and it was that I'm just going like, this is absolutely mega for me. And when we get wickets, I'm just like, come on, we've scored a goal. And I'm just like, I love that feeling, and this is pretty crushing for Indian fans right now, especially as I reckon. I reckon there's quite a large population within India. There's the Venn diagram of India cricket fans and Manchester United football fans. There's a big segment of those together, and this is a bad Sunday for them.
This is a bad day. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people who are not looking forward to waking up at work on Monday morning, going in to their office. Chatting about these 2 disasters. I guess if you're in India, at least everyone's got the shared experience of being smashed by Pakistan.
Oh, where Erasmus is going like this.
Is that good?
It's a big sixer. It's gone to second tier. It's gone second tier.
Well, in about 25 seconds, I look forward to tuning into that.
I tell you what was annoying me today. Well, what was really Rizwan is just. We fell in love with him when he was watching when he was playing against England. Uma, thank you very much for your super chat, my man.
That's a fucking big six.
Yeah,
Uma, cheers. Thank you very much.
But Rizwan has been amazing. Like, just genuinely amazing. In the last 12 months, last 18 months, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And I think he's in that position now where he's just great to watch. He's like a little frog behind the stumps, which is fantastic to watch.
A little frog?
He's like a little frog that is just full of
like
energy.
catching balls with his tongue.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. If David Attenborough did a documentary on any cricketer, it would be here in his natural environment is Mohammed Rizwan the frog.
Yeah.
And I've been brilliantly impressed with him. And some Indian fans are leaving. Oh no, Indian fans are leaving, and they've disrupted the game. So Bumrah's coming into bowl, and these Indian fans who are leaving the stadium have got in the way, and Rizwan's had to pull out. Oh, Shami's bowling, sorry.
Oh dear. Barcelona are losing 2. Says Saga 03 in the chat.
This is ridiculous. Like, Mohammed Rizwan. Good. If there's, is it like
this is Village.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's sad for them, isn't it? Faraz says Ollie getting sacked would make him happy. And Swaraj, on a brighter side, India won't have the baggage of never losing to Pakistan in a World Cup. Well, that's a good point, isn't it? You know, it's got to happen at some point. They play a World Cup every 6 weeks in cricket at the moment, or they will in the next few years, won't they? I mean, there's one this year, there's one next year, and there's the 50 over the year after. It had to happen sooner rather than later, and now it's, you know, Virat Kohli falling on his sword basically. Last T20 World Cup as captain, he's been like, I'll take one for the team here, lads. I don't want Rohit to take over and have that burden, or Rishabh Pant to take over and have that burden. I will be the first India captain to lose against Pakistan.
That's something to be proud of, isn't it? That's a real kind of heartwarming. Like, leadership sometimes is about self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, fair play. I'm glad that, I mean, at least Virat Kohli got 50 runs today. And all the KL Rahul fans out there. I mean, is this his fault? Not 100%, but, you know, something's got to be done. What was pissing me off earlier, and I got cut off when I was saying it, was how all of the IPL teams and all their social media teams are just like, come on, skipper, and it's Virat Kohli. And I'm just like, do you get that in any of the like the T20 counties or any of the 100 teams kind of going, come on, Joey, like back in Joe Root, back in the England team?
I think the 100 Twitter account is full-time banter, isn't it? It's not a real Twitter account. There's more banter going on there than there is on our Twitter. Any other good comments? Tottenham is still trash. Human being wants to point out to you, Ross. Afghanistan could upset India too, says Raj. I don't think Afghanistan are going to upset India. I think India will win the other matches.
It's all over.
I think
it's a 10-wicket win. It's all over.
Well, deserved, really, wasn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
Right, Ross. We should probably tell people who are watching now what we're going to do, shouldn't we? Do you want to fill them in?
We are going to go on to our other live reaction with Dan Weston. I'm going to guess we're going to go in 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we'll be on. I reckon 1:45. So I'll update that. I've probably got to make a couple of notes to get ready. Thank you very much for joining us for this experimental live stream. The 20 to 40 people that have jumped on board. I've actually quite enjoyed it. I think maybe we'll try it again later in the tournament. We might try and sync it out. We might even try and do it in one place. Who knows? But we'll be back pretty soon. Please do join us over there. I promise that there won't be too much KL Rahul chat.
No, yeah,
but there might be some.
We'll be very professional.
We're going to be very professional. It's going to be just pure analysis with Dan Weston. It'll be good. See you in 15 minutes.
15, one more.